As the new year symbolizes goals and striving to be our best, Columbus Division of Police are ushering in a safer year ahead. Today on City Chat, we are honored to have Chief of Police Elaine Bryant here to discuss 2025 policing goals. Thank you, Chief Bryant, for coming on to City Chat today.
Of course.
You know, as we celebrate and welcome in 2025, do you have a personal New Year's resolution? And could you also share Columbus Division of Police, some of the goals that you guys have this year?
For sure. So for me personally, my goal is to continue to maintain or improve my health, mental and physical. Mm-hmm. That's always a goal of mine, to make sure that I'm in the best shape that I can be in.
Yeah. As Chief of Police, I can't imagine, you know, everything that goes into your thought process and all the decisions you have to make and all the news that you have to hear. Does it weigh on you, and how do you deal with it?
It does, but that's one of the things that, you know, you sign up for. I've been in policing for 25 years. It'll be 25 years this year, actually. So you think about it, but you also think about the rewards, you know, being able to help people, being able to better communities, to improve relationships between the police and communities. So all the bad is outweighed by the good, in my opinion. So yeah, we definitely get a good sense. Like this year, you know, we had a decrease in our crime, which was great. We increased our community engagement, and so as we move into 2025, those are some of the things that we're hoping to also do. Continue to decrease crime, increase our closure rates, increase our community collaborations and our community engagement, and obviously leverage technology as well, so that we're able to be laser focused and use that as a multiplier to do the goals that we're trying to do.
I always thought it was really interesting, just kind of following your career path, that you put a large focus on community engagement and that importance. Can you kind of explain your thought behind that and how it has been successful?
Absolutely. So for us, as a law enforcement agency, what people typically think about when you think about police are enforcing the law. But it's more than that. You know, we not only enforce the law, but we're also part of our community. So those collaborations with our community partners, we could not do most of the work that we do without the help of our community, all the way from whether it's decreasing crime, whether it's helping our youth, whether it is dealing with socioeconomic issues, whether it's dealing with domestic violence. So those things aren't just about enforcement, they're also about prevention, about being proactive. So when we engage with our community and we get the buy-in and they believe in what we're doing and we get that police legitimacy, it just helps the community all around. So that's why it's a focus in what we do. And we work closely with our community, whether it's our faith-based leadership, whether it's the city partners, even our Park and Recs, the Department of Neighborhoods, Office of Violence Prevention. All of those factor in being able to do the things that we need to do to make Columbus a safer city.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. So having worked in law enforcement for over 2 decades, you said 25, this is your 25th year?
It is.
Oh my gosh. What personal values do you hold most dear in your work, and how do they influence your decisions?
Personal values, first and foremost, integrity. You know, you have to be a person of integrity to be a law enforcement officer. Doing the right things for the right reasons is key. Also, being an effective communicator is extremely important, especially being in a leadership role. Being able to talk to people, being able to get their perspective, being inclusive in making decisions, and empathy. You know, it's important for me to be able to empathize and being able to allow people to express how they feel and be able to take those into considerations when making decisions that are not only going to affect me, not only going to affect the police department, but affect our community as a whole.
So just like one step further with integrity and these questions like of empathy and these characteristics, is there ever a point, and I'm kind of asking for myself, like, you know, something that used to kind of break your heart or, you know, make it hurt a little, no longer does that?
It's really important to pour into our officers, to pour into ourselves, and make sure that we're okay.
Yeah.
We see a lot, we deal with a lot in this profession. So when we talk about integrity and doing the right things for the right reasons, there are times when I personally as a leader have to make a decision that's not the most popular. And sometimes it can really weigh on the division as a whole or the community as a whole, but I always remind myself that I'm here for a reason and that I have to make sure that I'm doing what's best for our community, and the decisions that I make are not only going to affect what we're doing now, but 25 years from now, people are going to look back. Police transparency is extremely important. There have been times where we have done things in the department that are not great, and I have to speak on that, and I have to put it out there and be transparent about it and let people know this happened. We're holding people accountable, and we're going to make sure that we do those things because this is what the community expects and what they deserve from us. But on that flip side, we also have to make sure that when our officers are out here, and 99% of them are out here upholding that oath, doing the things that the community asks for above and beyond. They really believe in what they're doing and they love their community. So it's equally important to make sure that we also remind the community that we have these officers out here that are doing this job and that really respect and love their community as well. Yeah. So that balance has to be there.
That's amazing. Thank you. So as a mother of two sons, how do you balance, the demanding career and family life, and what lessons have you in the past drilled in their heads or have really brought them and nurtured them with?
Well, first and foremost, whenever I talk about myself, I talk about being a mother. That is my number one accomplishment. To me, I love my children. And although they're not little anymore, my sons are young adults now. But growing up, I always instilled or poured into them that they could do anything they want to do. It was really important to make sure that they understood that I believed in them, the rest of the family believed in them. And so I always tell them, don't be afraid to fail. Because if you don't try, you'll never know, and know that you have a safety net in your family and me. So go out there, reach for your goals, try new things, try to do what you want to do, believe in yourself. And so I think that is the one lesson that I've always tried to instill in my sons, and to let them know that people are watching you even when you think they're not. So be a good person. Just be a good person, and just do the right things, again, for the right reasons. And so I believe that that they've taken those lessons. I have some really good kids, and I'm not just saying that, but they really are good kids, and they're doing really well. One of the biggest compliments that I've ever received was from my youngest son. And he had a tough time a little bit in college, and he was struggling, with some injuries. He's a football player. And he told me one time, he said, "Mom, I never gave up because I never saw you give up." So for me, that's what it's about.
That's amazing. After, such a long and distinguished career, what legacy do you really hope to leave within the Columbus Police Division?
So throughout my entire career, even as I rose through the ranks and I was promoted, I was always put in different places. And one of the things my bosses would tell me when they moved me is, we're putting you here because we want you to change it. We want you to fix it. We want you to make it better. And so I consider myself a change agent. And the one thing that I will say is, if I leave someplace and I just left it a little bit better than I found it, I feel that I've been successful in what I've tried to accomplish. So I just want to go places and be able to say that whatever that I was able to accomplish, that I poured into that community, into that department, and left it just a little better than what I found it.
That's great. Thank you, Chief, so much for coming on today. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I'm Josie Smith. Thanks for watching City Chat on CTV.